In this video, we're going to go through on Nanyang Primary School Primary 4 Term 2 weighted assessment. So let's get started on the first question. So the first question over here is, what fraction of hearts are shaded? Express your answer in its simplest form. Okay, so there's two ways to do this. So the first way, I'm going to put here, the first way is basically you just count how many hearts there are. So the total hearts, okay, you have your total hearts divided by, or that's the denominator, then the numerator will be shaded hearts. Okay, shaded. I'm going to put the heart shape. Okay, so you just count, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's two rows, right? Or you can just manually count as well. But at the bottom is 5 times 2, which is 10. And then we also have the shaded hearts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then we have 8 out of 10. Okay, and the question also asks, express your answer in simplest form. So that means we can divide this by, so what's the common factor? 2, which is 4 over 5. So the answer is 4 over 5, okay, which is number 3. Okay, the second way, right, it's pretty straightforward also, which is since we know that fractions are, I would say, parts of a whole, it is basically the same as if we were to count, because you see the answer over here, right? 4 over 5. You see that since we simplify, we can actually just make this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So these are 5 parts of one whole. And then we have the shaded area 1, 2, 3, 4, which are shaded. So this is another visual way, I would say, to see how we can simplify fractions. So I have 4 over 5. Okay, so that's a faster way to do it. All right, let's move on to the next question. Right, so the next question is, the graph below shows the number of 20-cent coins James saved in 5 months. Use the graph to answer question 2 and 3. Okay, so number of 20-cent coins saved, and we have a couple of points over here. Okay, so first thing first is we need to know how much one line means. So let's zoom in. So we have one line, two line, three line, four line, and 5 lines. So 10 represents 5 lines. So 10 is 5 lines. Okay. So one line is equal to 10 divided by 5, which is 2. So each line is 2. And then we can go up from 4, 6, 8, and 10. Okay. So now we can see the first question. How many did James save 20-cent coins in May? Okay, so let's go to May over here. Okay, so May is over here. Okay, so we can just draw the line, and you see that it is just one line before 60. So that means in this case for May, it is 60, and one line is minus 2. This will be 58. Okay, so for May itself, in this case, let me draw the line. Let's see if this, okay, yeah, so it's just 58 in this case. So the answer is 2 over here, 58. Let's move on to the next question. How many more 20-cent coins did James save in February than in April? So we need to get February and we need to get April, and we just need to get the difference. How many more? That means February is more than April. So in this case, you see February and then April. Okay, so let's go over here and see how much February is. So I'm gonna draw a red line for this and maybe shade this red, and let's draw this out over here. Okay, so in this case we can just count 72 in this line and then 74. So for me, for February, it's 74. And then let's go to April. So April is on the solid line, which if you were to draw this out, it's 50. So for April itself, it's 50. And now if we were to have February is 74 and April is 50. So we minus, this will be 24. So the answer is 4, right? In this case over here. Right, let's move on to the next question. Question 4. So this is a table shows the number of apples and oranges sold by two fruit stores. How many orange did store B sold? Okay, so we have a couple of numbers. It's a table. Okay, so we just want to know, first thing is, how many oranges did store B sold? So oranges, you see the word oranges. So this is in this row. And then how many oranges did B sold? Okay, so what we can do is that we first just look at this table. I mean this column. And then after that, you see there is the total. And we also have the A's store A number of oranges. So what we can do is to just minus. Okay, so you can just say total. So it's basically total minus store A oranges. So store B oranges is equal to total minus 37. So if you can do mental math, then it will be 33. So the answer is 33 in this case over here. Next question. How many more apples than oranges did store A sell? So we only care about two things, which is apples and then oranges, and only store A. So how many more, right? So if we were to look back in the table, store A has 37 orange and 56 apples. So we're going to do that, which is basically 56 minus 37. So if you were to minus, if you were to do mental math, they should be 19. So the answer is 19 for question B. Let's move on to the next question. Question 5. So there are 40 students in the class. 8 of them are boys. How many girls are there in the class? All right. So if I were to visualize this, 8 in a model, if you want to draw in a model, that's also fine. So we have a total of 8. So when you see this 8 of them, that means there is a total of 8 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm gonna draw one more, and then I'm gonna erase this like this. Okay, something like this. Okay, and then 8 of them are boys. Okay, and the total in this case, is 40. All right. Okay, so how many girls are there? Okay, so how many girls are there in this case? Right. So there's two ways you can do it. I'm gonna do the first way. Okay, so the first way is basically we get the boys. So boys will be 40 times 3 over 8. Okay, so we can cancel 40 and 8. This will be 5, and boys will be 15. So girls will be total minus boys, which is equal to, in this case, 40 minus 15. This will be 25. So this is the first way. So the answer is 25. The second way is that we know in this case 8. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 is the total units for boys and girls. So what we can write down is 8 units is equal to 40, and 1 unit is equal to 40 divided by 8, which is 5. And then we need to know how many units are the girls. So if you've drawn the model, you can count lah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So 5 units is equal to 5 times 5, which is 25. So you so need to know, you need to tell us how many units are boys, how many units are girls. So total is equal to 8 units. Boys are equal to 3 units. And then girls will be equal to 8 minus 3. This will be 5 units. Right? So the answer is 25 in this case. Okay, so there's multiple ways you can do this as well. All right, let's move on to the next question. Question 6. So solve the following questions. Express your answer as a mixed number in its simplest form. So we have over here 4 over 7 plus 1 over 2. Let me just zoom this in. So what we can do is basically we need to find the lowest. So lowest common denominator, right? So that means we just need to find what is the lowest common denominator for 7 and 2. So in this case, pretty straightforward. We can just multiply this by 2, multiply this by 7, because their lowest common multiple is 14. So since the denominator is multiplied by 2, numerator also must multiply by 2. And then in this other fraction, multiply by 7. So 4 times 2 is 8 over 14 plus 7 out of 14. Okay, so in this case, it's 8 plus 7 out of 14. So this will be 15 out of 14. So we also need to make it into a simplest form. That means we need to make it a mixed number. So 50 out of 14 is basically, if you were to do the division, right? So you have 14. Sorry, this is 14, 15. So minus 14. This will have 1 remainder 1. Okay. So if this is the case for the working over here, right? That means whenever you divide, your quotient is the whole number. So quotient is the whole number. And then your remainder or R, and then over 14. So in this case, it is 1 over 14. Okay. So that's the answer for 6A. So 6B is 4 minus 3 over 9. So we need to convert this whole number into a fraction. So how do you do that? Is we need to basically have it over 9 minus 3 over 9, right? Okay. So actually, there's two ways. I'm going to show you the first way. So since we have the denominator is 9, so we need to multiply 4 by 9, which becomes our numerator. So 4 times 9, we just put it here. 4 times 9 is equal to 36 over 9 minus 3 over 9. So you minus, this will be 33 over 9 in this case. Okay, so now we can do the workings. So we have 33 divided by 9. So we can't divide 3 by 9. So we need to have 33 divided by 9. So the closest to 33 is, in this case, 27. Okay, and then we will have this as 3. And then 33 minus 27 is, in this case, 6. Right, remainder 6. Okay, so in this case, this will be 3 whole 6 out of 9. If we were to simplify, this will be 3, 6 divided by 2, 9. 3, 9 divided by 3. That's the common factor. So in this case, this will be 2 out of 3. So the answer is 3, 2 out of 3. Okay, so this one way. The other way is that, okay, so I'm going to put the second way, is 4 minus 3 over 9. So what you can do is you can actually simplify this. So there's another way also to make our fraction, I mean a whole number into a fraction. Okay, in this case. So first is that we can simplify 3 over 9. So we divide this by 3, divide this by 3. So it's 4 minus 1 over 3. Okay, next thing is you don't have to make the whole number into a fraction. You can make part of it. So this will be, if you were to do something like this, 3 over 3. Okay, so you have the 3 whole number, and then you have plus 3 1 over 3, because 3 1 over 3 is equal to one whole number, which is equal to 4 lah, right? So then we can do minus 1 over 3, and then it's pretty straightforward, 3 minus 1, and you still get the same answer, 3 2 out of 3 in this case, right? So question B, 6B is 3 2 out of 3. All right, let's move on to the next question. All right, question 7. So Sarah ran 4 out of 5 kilometers on Monday, and she ran 3 out of 4 kilometers less on Tuesday than on Monday. What was the total distance on Monday and Tuesday? So when you see this sentence, less on than less, okay, easier is less than, right? So that's the keywords over here. So basically what this means is Tuesday distance is equal to Monday minus, and then there should be a number. So the number or fraction over here is 3 out of 4. Okay, so in this case Monday is 4 out of 5 minus 3 out of 4. Okay, that's what it means less than. So Tuesday is basically, in this case, less than Monday, means Tuesday equal to Monday minus fraction. So now we need to get the lowest common multiple for our denominators, 5 and 4. So times 4 for our 4 over 5 for denominator and the numerator. Then for the 3 over 4, we multiply by 5 for denominator and numerator. So this will be 16 out of 20 minus 15 out of 20. And 16 minus 15, it will be 1 over 20. So that's Tuesday. So now the next part is, what's the total? So I'm going to put a total equal to, so Monday is 4 over 5 plus 1 over 20. And we already know what is Monday, 4 over 5, which is 16 over 20. So put 16 over 20 plus 1 over 20 is equal to 17 over 20. So that's it. The answer is 17 over 20. All right, let's move on to the next question. Question 8. There are 4 bags A, B, C, D. The mass of 4 bags is shown below. 15, 4, 3, 2 third, 11 over 6, and 1 fourth. Right? But it doesn't mean that this is A, B, C, D. No, it's not. So we need to know which bag it is. So bag A is the lightest. The mass of bag B is between 1 kg and 2 kg. And bag C is heavier than bag D. What is the mass of bag D? Okay, so let's go over the first one. So bag A is the lightest. So lightest. Okay. So if you were to go through all of the fractions over here, right? Which fraction lightest means smallest, right? Smallest. So smallest fraction. Okay. So first thing first, if you were to convert, let me write down all of the different fractions. So 15 over 4. Then we have 3, 2 over 3. Then we have 11 over 6. And have 1 over 4. So out of the 4, 1 is not a improper fraction, right? So in this case, we know this is an improper fraction. That means the numerator is bigger than the denominator. This is a mixed number, and this is an improper fraction, and this is 1 over 4. So in this case, we know that 1 over 4 is the smallest because it is just it doesn't have it's not in proper fraction. So if I were to convert 15 over 4 to its mixed number, so you can have 15 divided by 4. Okay, this should be 12. So 3, then the remainder is 3. 3R3. Okay, in this case. So it's 3, remainder 3 over 4. Okay, now put comma, so it's easier, right? Comma, 3, 2 out of 3. And then we have 11 over 6. So 11 over 6, oops, 11 divided by 6. So we have 6. So if I were to just move this question over here, 11 minus 6 is 5. So in this case over here, I'm not going to confuse here. So this is 1 remainder 5. Okay. So in this case, which is 1, 5 over 6. And then we have 1 over 4. So with this, 1 over 4 does not have a whole number. Okay. So that means bag A is uh, the 1 over 4. Right. So we can just put A over here. Okay. Let's move on. The mass of bag B is between 1 and 2 kg. So you see that out of the 3 fractions over here, which is between 1 and 2 kg, right? So in this case, we know that this is 3 kg, 3 kg, this is below 1 kg. So in this case, it's 1 over 5 over 6. So in this case, bag B is 11 over 6. Okay, last one, we have this where bag C is heavier than bag D. So over here, which one is heavier than which in this case? So what we can do is we can actually change this into its common multiple, right? So in this case, we can make it into 12, right? Because 4 times 3 is 12, 3 times 4 is 12. So we can multiply the numerators as well. So in this case, this is 9 over 12, and this is 3/8 out of 12 in this case. And you could see that it is one fraction away. So back C is heavier. So which is heavier in these two fractions? Which is this one, 3/9 over 12. So C is heavier than D. That means this is C and this is D. So now what's the mass of bag D? Bag D is 3, 2 over 3 in this case over here, right? Okay, so that's it. So let's move on to the next question. Question 9, last question. Denise baked 36 chocolate muffins and some blueberry muffins. So we know how much chocolate muffins, but we don't know how many blueberry muffins. So 2/9 of the muffins baked were chocolate and the rest were blueberry. How many blueberry muffins did she bake? Okay, so first we can do the model drawing. So let me put this in black. Okay, so let us draw this model over here. And then after that, we need to understand this statement over here. Okay, so when it says here, 2 over of the muffins baked were chocolate. So that means 2 of the total is chocolate. And what's the total? 9 is the total of the muffins, which is basically the total in this case. So there's a total of 9 units. So we're going to draw. So there's two, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 as well. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So in this case, 2 of the 9 biscuits were chocolate. So this is shading. This is not the spelling. But yeah, so 2 chocolate. So I'm going to write here. Right, this is chalk. And then the rest over here is the blueberry. And we know that in this statement over here, it says here 36 chocolate muffins. So that means this is 36. So if you were to write this down, 2 units is 36. 6. Then 1 unit will be 36 divided by 2, which is 18. And now we need to know the total. I mean, not total. How many blueberry? So we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Right. So in this case, it is 7 units. So 7 units equal to 18 times 7. Right. So if you can use your calculator, the answer will be 126. Right. Or you can, if you can't use your calculator, then you can just do uh, multiplication. 18. Oops. Why is it not working over here? Okay, so let's try the working. 18 times 7. So 7 times 8 is 56. Put 6, 5 here. 1 plus 1 times 7, 7 plus 5 is 12. So 126. Okay, so that's the answer. All right, let's move on to the next question. How many more blueberry muffins than chocolate muffins did she bake? So when you see this, you see more than, that means blueberry. You just insert lah, right? What's the blueberry? So blueberry is 1 to 6. And what's the chocolate muffin? Chocolate muffin is 36 in this case. So many more means it's just minus. So 1 to 6 minus 36, 90. So 1 to 6 minus 36. 6 minus 6, 0. 2 minus 3 cannot. Just put 1. 12 minus 3 is 9. So it's 90. So in this case, the answer is 90. All right, that's it for P4 Maths WhatsApp. Uh, that's it for P4 Maths with assessment 2 2024.